some aspects of our industry are fundamentally in need of concessional finance that is inherently concessional because you do not even have a real market opportunity behind it. In the most underserved regions, it's almost become absurd to try to create a business case. So yeah, having a little bit more candor for investor, a little bit more risk-taking position from investor too, which we do not see as much as we should today, especially de-risking or so-called de-risking investors. And I think that would help to give a little bit more like momentum to the industries.
What I hope to see is real customer engagement. I think we've been focusing very much on funding and on business models and all that, but we're forgetting to really think, what does a customer want? Do they want energy access and how? I fear we're still too much pushing with grant money, with subsidies, all that. What if we really create a market pool? And I really hope, and I think we're on that track. We're forced to go to that track.
We need to bring in more capital. To bring more capital in, equity capital, we need to show investors that this is a worthwhile opportunity. Also for RBF, you need to show that you're actually making an impact, right? So I would invest more funding into sector technology in order to make the companies be able to show their huge impacts and verify their impacts as they go.
So what we see happening by 2030, the industry and its financiers will have woken up to realize that the current way of doing business is the problem and it has to change. And I think that as M300 matures a bit, they're recognizing that they have to change the way they deliver capital.
Tier 1 is not affordable for 75% of the population. We need to reach those first and to then build them up, because the people that currently have Tier 0 or can only afford a solar lantern, that is your customer of tomorrow. And if you can marry the donor funding to the space with long-term impact, it gives the time to turn a solar light into a connection. Whereas at present we are essentially led by politics. Local governments want to talk connections and they want a connection in 6 months. Whereas, is that a sustainable connection? It somehow gets lost as part of that.
This industry must stop selling products to customers that do not have the willingness or the ability to pay for that product. And only if and when it stops doing that will kind of blue skies open up for the industry. And the way that I think that it will change is if the way that this industry defines success changes. So rather than talking about the volume of sales, the number of units sold, we should be talking about the quality of those sales that are made, as evidenced by customers fully paying off and owning their product outright. Because if a customer defaults on their payments, that's not impact.